Hey friends, today I want to share a new story with you. Hope you enjoy it. After being left out of family reunions for 10 years, they finally showed up at my new home. The moment they stepped inside, their faces went pale. Then I said what I had been planning for years. It was my quiet revenge. But the real surprise came when I told them a truth that changed everything they thought they knew about me and our past. Hi Reddit, this is a story about betrayal, finding strength on your own, and how things came full circle in the end. 10 years ago, I sat outside my childhood home, watching through the window as my parents and siblings laughed together. I wasn't even invited to the family dinner. I didn't do anything wrong. No fights, no drama. I just didn't match their idea of success. My older brother Darren had a law degree. My younger sister Naomi was in med school. And me, I chose carpentry. I loved it, the tools, the smell of wood, and creating things with my hands. But to them, I was the failure they never talked about. It started with small things, late invites, forgotten birthdays, and small comments about my future. Then one year, they held the reunion and didn't tell me. I only found out from a Facebook photo that my cousin accidentally tagged me in. I called my mom and she said, "We figured you'd be too busy or uncomfortable." Uncomfortable? I was their son and brother. But suddenly I didn't belong. I tried to ignore it. Maybe they were right. Maybe I was different. But it kept happening year after year. Photos I wasn't in, group chats I was removed from, weddings I never got invited to. I stopped calling. They didn't notice. I moved 2 hours away to a quiet town where no one knew me as the family outcast. I threw myself into my carpentry work. Slowly, things changed. It didn't happen fast. I spent years living simply, making furniture and doing repairs. Then one day, a hotel owner asked me to design custom luxury rooms. My work got noticed, magazines, social media, even a small TV feature. In 3 years, I wasn't just doing okay, I was doing great. I bought land and built my dream home from scratch. Every wall, every beam, I built it all myself. I didn't talk to my family during that time. Not because I hated them, but because I needed peace. But I noticed the change. They started liking my posts, leaving comments like, "Proud of you." Like that made up for the years they shut me out. I never replied. Then, 2 months before Christmas, Darren sent me a message. "Hey, Mom was wondering if you could host this year's family reunion. Your house looks amazing." I stared at the screen. After 10 years of silence, they wanted to use my house for their party. No, sorry, no talk about the past. Just a message like we were all still close. I didn't answer. I planned something else. On Christmas Eve, just after dark, I lit the huge wooden tree I built in my living room, baked cinnamon rolls like Grandma used to, and set the table perfectly. I invited only one person, Mr. Hampton, my late grandpa's best friend. He was the only one who ever treated me like family. We ate and shared old stories. It was calm and warm. Then came a knock. I opened the door, and there they all were, my parents, Darren, Naomi, their partners, even cousins, all holding a store-bought pie and smiling. Naomi said first, "Wow, your house is amazing." Darren gave a low whistle. Didn't think woodworking paid this well. My mom looked around at the wooden columns and shiny floors. "You've done well, dear. We thought maybe we could spend the evening here together. Like the good old days." I didn't move. There were no good old days for me. Remember? I wasn't included. My dad cleared his throat. "Let's not bring up the past. Tonight was about real family." I stepped aside so they could see the warm glow inside, the fire crackling, the sound of Mr. Hampton and me laughing. Then I said it, calmly but firmly. "You're not staying." My mother looked confused. "What? You ignored me for 10 years. No calls, no visits. You weren't there when I needed you most. And now, after seeing what I've built, you suddenly want back in?" "No. Tonight is for the ones who stayed, not the ones who show up when it's easy." Their smiles faded. Darren opened his mouth but couldn't speak. Naomi looked down, clearly uncomfortable. My father gave a short nod, maybe out of guilt. I went on. "You didn't lose me because of my job. You lost me because you made me feel like I didn't matter. And now it's too late. I gently closed the door, not in anger, but in peace. Inside, Mr. Hampton raised his glass. To the family we choose. I smiled and raised mine. To building something real. The silence after I closed that door didn't hurt. It felt freeing. For the first time in years, I had finally said the truth I had kept inside. I didn't yell. I didn't cause a scene. I just told them the truth they never wanted to face. But they didn't take it well. The next morning, my phone was full of missed calls, texts, and emails. My mom left a voicemail. Her voice was shaking, caught between being mad and feeling guilty. I don't know what you're doing, but this isn't how family acts. You don't just shut the door on your own blood. I didn't reply. Then came the guilt. Naomi sent a long message saying that everyone makes mistakes and that cutting people off is just as bad as being left out. Darren added his usual excuse. You always took things too seriously. That's why we left you out. It was just easier. Easier for them. They weren't trying to make things right. They just wanted to change the story. They didn't want me. They wanted the success I had made. The house. The reputation. Their forgotten son had become someone, and now they wanted to pretend they always believed in me. But I wasn't playing that game. Then Naomi posted something vague on social media. When you try to fix things with family and they shut you out, it hurts more than anything. Of course, people commented with sympathy. They didn't know the real story. I ignored it until my aunt, who had always stayed quiet during these years, sent me a message. I saw Naomi's post. I don't want to assume anything, but I think you did the right thing. That message hit me harder than I expected. For a second, I wondered, did I go too far? Was I becoming like them? But then I remembered all the birthdays I spent alone. The texts they never answered. The years they acted like I didn't exist. I wasn't angry anymore. I was just done carrying a weight that wasn't mine. I focused on the life I had built. My business was growing fast. I was booked for months. Local news started reaching out, not because I bragged, but because my work spoke for itself. I even started helping young people in town who felt like they didn't belong in college or corporate jobs. I saw myself in them. Quiet, ignored, but full of fire. They became my new family. Not the one I was born into, but the one I chose. Meanwhile, my old family kept posting and messaging. Naomi shared another vague post about selfish siblings. Darren sent a long email trying to act like he had always tried to help me. And my mom sent a Christmas card with a note inside. Come back when you're ready to be part of the family again. But I was already home. I built it myself. The biggest change came one evening with a knock at the door, not from them, but from someone I hadn't seen in over 15 years. My cousin Rachel. She looked older and tired, but honest. She didn't come with a speech. She came with the truth. I was there, she said quietly. All those years, I saw what they did to you. And I didn't speak up. I should have. We sat and talked for hours. She told me how it felt wrong when they acted like I didn't exist. She once tried to speak up, but was told to drop it. He chose to be distant. She believed that, until one day she didn't. You weren't making it up, she said. You were treated badly. And I'm sorry I didn't defend you. That didn't fix everything. But it meant something. It reminded me that I wasn't crazy. That someone saw the truth, even if they stayed silent. In the months that followed, I kept moving forward, growing in my work, my mind, and my heart. I wasn't proving anything anymore. I was just living the life I wanted. Then something happened that I never expected. One evening in early spring, a letter came in the mail. Formal. Stamped. From a lawyer. I opened it and felt my stomach twist. My father had died. It wasn't sudden, he'd been sick. But no one had told me. The letter wasn't from family. It was from his attorney. I was mentioned because he left me something. Not money or property. A journal. Inside, I saw his handwriting, faded, shaky, but clearly his. What I read changed everything I thought I knew about our relationship. It opened a door I didn't know was still locked. I held the journal for nearly an hour before I opened it. It was old, leather-bound, and worn by time. His name was written inside the cover. Below it, One date. October 2008. The year things started falling apart. As I read the pages, I realized it wasn't just a diary. It was his confession. He wrote about how hard they tried to keep up appearances. A perfect family. Successful kids. An illusion. He said when I chose carpentry over college, he panicked. Not out of anger, but fear. I didn't know how to stand up for you. I thought if I ignored it, you'd come back. I was wrong. Every time I pushed you away, I hurt myself too. His words showed pain, regret, and weakness. He had chosen silence over love, pride over truth, and he carried that guilt until the end. But the last part hit me hardest. If you're reading this, I'm gone. I know I don't have the right to ask for anything, but I left this for you because you deserve to be heard. You deserve better, and you deserve the chance to decide what happens now. That line stayed in my head for days. I didn't go to the funeral. Naomi posted edited black and white photos of it on social media, crying in expensive sunglasses. Darren gave a speech, looking serious. It was all for show. I wanted nothing to do with it. But I did do one thing. A week later, I sent a handwritten letter to my mother's house. Inside, I placed one copy of the last page of my father's journal. No note, no insults, just the truth he had hidden for so long. At the bottom, I added one sentence. You erased me for 10 years. Let this remind you, I was always here. You just didn't want to see me. That could have been the end. But life doesn't always give us clean breaks. 2 months later, Naomi walked into my workshop. No call, no text. Just showed up like nothing had happened. I read it, she said quietly. I looked up from the chair I was working on. So, I didn't know he felt that way. I set my tool down and stood up. Did it change how you feel? She paused, and her silence said more than words could. I didn't come to be forgiven, she said. I came because I think he didn't want us to keep pretending. And I don't either. You don't have to forgive me. I'm not here to rewrite anything. I just want to tell the truth. And she did. She told me about the jealousy. How I seemed free while they felt trapped. How my absence made them feel guilty, so they covered it with blame. How my success made them feel small. She admitted everything. And for once, it felt real. I didn't hug her. I didn't cry. I just listened. When she finished, I said, "Thanks for being honest. It doesn't change the past, but it means we don't have to lie about it anymore." She nodded. That's all I wanted. We didn't get close after that, but we were honest. And that was more than I ever thought I'd get. As for Darren, he never said a word. Not even after reading the journal. He stayed silent just like always, protecting his pride with distance. I didn't need closure from him. Some people don't understand what they lost until it's too late. I had already moved on. The real ending came that Christmas. This time, my house was full. Not with the family I was born into, but with the people who had become my true family. Mr. Hampton, my cousin Rachel, the young people I mentored, and neighbors who had become friends. We laughed. We ate. We shared stories. And in a quiet moment, I stood by the fire and looked around the home I built. I didn't say anything, but the thought was clear. I wasn't the black sheep. I was just the first to walk away. And by doing that, I didn't find their approval. I found something better. Peace. In the end, I didn't need their love or their sorry. I built my own life with people who truly saw me. And when the time came, I didn't yell. I just showed them what they lost. That was my revenge. And that was enough. If this story touched you, please like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more true stories like this. Until next time, stay strong, stay true, and never forget your worth.